The NBA season is officially over and we're now very close to the NBA draft. So today's video will be the fourth full first round mock draft on this channel. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. But before we continue, please like the video and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a banger. Now let's get started. With the first pick, the Pistons select Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. Cade is the undisputed #1 prospect in this draft class. He's got an incredible physical profile for a point guard at 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. On offense, he's a great scorer, whether that's finishing at the rim or draining pull-up threes. He's also an excellent playmaker. And on the less glamorous end of the court, he uses that same size and athleticism to be an outstanding defender. Cade Cunningham is a no-brainer pick for the rebuilding Pistons. With the second pick, the Rockets select Jalen Green out of the G League Ignite. Some believe they'll take Evan Mobley, but the Rockets will end up with Green due to their need for an elite perimeter initiator. Green is an unstoppable scorer. Thanks to his skilled offensive game, combined with his elite athleticism, he can blow by defenders and put them on a poster. And he's not just a slasher, because he's also a good three-point shooter as well. His game seems very similar to a Zach LaVine, and he even likens himself to the late great Kobe Bryant. Here, the Rockets are landing a potential superstar to build around. With the third pick, the Cavs select Evan Mobley out of USC. Evan Mobley is a super skilled 7-footer with unicorn vibes. On offense, he's got ball handling, passing, and shooting skills, and on defense, he's an amazing rim protector and rebounder. Mobley has the potential to be a game-changing force on both ends of the floor. The Cavs already have Jarrett Allen, who plays the same position, but Mobley is way too good for the Cavs to pass up on. With the fourth pick, the Raptors select Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga. Suggs is a super talented point guard that played a huge role in Gonzaga getting to the championship game. He's an athletic, speedy guard that can get to the rim with ease and finish over multiple defenders. He's also an excellent playmaker and really brings it on the defensive end as well. With Kyle Lowry likely out, Suggs makes the most sense for the Raptors at pick number 4. With the fifth pick, the Magic select Scottie Barnes out of Florida State. My previous mock drafts have had the Magic rolling on Jonathan Kuminga, but Scottie Barnes' draft stock is on the rise and it looks like he's going to get selected in the top 5. He's got an incredible physical profile for a small forward at 6'9" with a long 7'3" wingspan. He's athletic and he's got an incredible skill set at that size, having the ability to pass, handle the ball, and play great defense. The rebuilding Magic will take the best player available here, which is definitely Scottie Barnes. With the sixth pick, the OKC Thunder select Jonathan Kuminga out of the G League Ignite. Kuminga is a very athletic small forward with great size at 6'8" and a 6'11" wingspan. On offense, he's a terrific slasher that often finishes above the rim, and on defense, he can rebound and guard multiple positions on the court. He lacks an outside shot, which is an area that OKC struggled as a team, but they're looking for young talent, so they'll take Kuminga here and bank on his upside. With the seventh pick, the Warriors select James Bouknight out of UConn. Bouknight is an athletic 6'5" shooting guard with excellent ball handling and shot creation abilities. He should be able to be a good scorer from day one in the NBA, with the potential to eventually become an elite one. The Warriors were an elite defense last year. What they really need is guys outside of Steph Curry who can get buckets, so Bouknight makes the most sense at pick number 7 here. With the 8th pick, the Magic select Moses Moody out of Arkansas. Moody has a great physical profile for a 2-guard at 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's excellent at knocking down three-pointers coming off screens, and he brings it on defense as well. He isn't just a shooter because he can also attack the rim and score in the mid-range. The Magic could definitely use a 3-and-D player like Moody, and at just 19 years old, he has the potential to become a good scorer as well. With the 9th pick, the Kings select Franz Wagner out of Michigan. Wagner may not have a high upside like some of these other prospects, but he has the potential to be a great role player. He's an excellent defender that can guard multiple positions, and he can also shoot and pass the ball pretty good as well. The Kings are looking to make a playoff push, so a player like Wagner, who could be a really good glue guy from day one, makes a lot of sense for them. With the 10th pick, the Pelicans select Davion Mitchell out of Baylor. The Pelicans could use a point guard with Lonzo Ball likely out and Eric Bledsoe being shopped around. Davion Mitchell is a very competitive guard that defends extremely well, has a quick first step, and shot the three ball very well last year. The Pelicans also would need defense and three-point shooting if they want to make the playoffs, so drafting Mitchell makes a lot of sense for them. With the 11th pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Kai Jones out of Texas. Kai Jones is a very athletic center with good size at 6'11 and a 7'2 wingspan. On defense, he's a good rim protector and rebounder, and on offense, he's an excellent lob target, and he's flashed the ability to shoot threes and put the ball on the floor. Jones' offensive skills will give Charlotte a useful skill set that they get from neither Cody Zeller or Bismack Biyombo, making Jones a strong fit. With the 12th pick, the Spurs select Alperen Şengün out of Turkey. Şengün is one of the biggest sleepers in this draft class. At just 18 years old, he dominated the Turkish league. He's got a very big body at 6'10 and 240 pounds, and he brings great footwork, basketball IQ, and awesome passing skills. He lacks the agility that's ideal for a modern center, but his upside is too big for the Spurs to pass up on here. With the 13th pick, the Pacers select Josh Giddey out of the NBL. Giddey is a 6'8" point guard with elite playmaking and ball handling skills. The Pacers already have a starting point guard in Malcolm Brogdon, but Giddey can come off the bench and provide scoring and playmaking, and at just 18 years old, if he can improve his weaknesses, he can become an elite point guard. With the 14th pick, the Warriors select Ziaire Williams out of Stanford. Williams didn't shoot the ball well in his freshman year at Stanford, but Golden State will take him for his upside. He's got great size for a small forward at 6'9 with a 6'10 wingspan, and he has ball handling, defensive, and shot creation skills. Williams has the potential to be the elite two-way player that Golden State needs. With the 15th pick, the Wizards select Chris Duarte out of Oregon. At already 24 years old, Duarte doesn't have a very high upside, but he can immediately help a playoff team with his 3-and-D abilities. He shot 42% from three last year, and he's a big 6'6" guard that should be able to defend multiple positions at the next level. The Wizards need shooting and defense, which makes Duarte a nice fit. With the 16th pick, the OKC Thunder selects Corey Kispert out of Gonzaga. Kispert is arguably the best shooter in this draft class. He shot a blistering 44% from three last year and 88% from the free throw line. He should be a very nice fit on a young Thunder team that desperately needs outside shooting. With the 17th pick, the Grizzlies select Jalen Johnson out of Duke. Johnson is a 6'9" small forward with a very intriguing skill set. He can guard multiple positions thanks to his size and athleticism, and on offense, he can handle the ball, he can pass, but he needs to develop his outside game. Johnson can back up Kyle Anderson for now and eventually earn that starting spot. With the 18th pick, the OKC Thunder selects Keon Johnson out of Tennessee. Johnson is arguably the most athletic player in this draft. He's got a monster 48-inch vertical, and it isn't uncommon to see him blow by defenders and finish with highlight reel dunks. He needs to develop as an outside shooter, but the rebuilding Thunder will take him due to his high ceiling. With the 19th pick, the Knicks select Isaiah Jackson out of Kentucky. Jackson is a very athletic center with good size at 6'10 with a 7'2 wingspan. He was truly one of the best shot blockers in college basketball, averaging 5 blocks per 40 minutes. And he's not only a good rim protector, but he's the rare big that can really hold his own when switched onto a quick perimeter player. On offense, he's an excellent screen setter and lob target, while also flashing potential to shoot and handle. With Nerlens Noel likely out, Jackson could be a great pickup, and he will continue the Kentucky to New York Knicks pipeline. With the 20th pick, the Hawks select Jaden Springer out of Tennessee. Springer has good size for a point guard at 6'4 with a 6'8 wingspan, and he really brings it on both ends of the court. His size and athleticism allow him to be a pest on defense, and on offense, he's a good slasher that also shoots the three ball extremely well. The Hawks need a nice backup behind Trae Young, making Springer a nice fit. With the 21st pick, the Knicks select Trey Murphy III out of Virginia. Murphy could fit on any playoff team and immediately contribute to winning basketball. At 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan, he's an excellent defender that can guard multiple positions, and on offense, he's an excellent off-ball threat, whether that's cutting to the basket or knocking down open threes. For the Knicks, he can be useful as a 3-and-D player to have off the bench. With the 22nd pick, the Lakers select Jared Butler out of Baylor. Fortunately for Butler, he was recently medically cleared to play after his heart condition, which should cause his draft stock to rise. The Lakers need to surround LeBron and AD with shooting, and they need someone else who can create offense. Butler is a knockdown outside shooter, he defends really well, and he can score and playmake. He's a great find for the Lakers at pick 22. With the 23rd pick, the Rockets select Usman Garuba out of Spain. Garuba is one of the best defensive bigs in this draft. He may be short for a center at only 6'8", but he's got a long 7'3" wingspan, which helps him to be a great shot blocker and rebounder, and he can also switch onto guards on the perimeter. On offense, he won't do much outside of catching lobs, but he has flash passing and shooting potential. Garuba can serve as Christian Wood's backup next year. With the 24th pick, the Houston Rockets take Sharife Cooper out of Auburn. Cooper is one of the quickest players in this draft. He's able to get to the rim absolutely at will, and he's also great at kicking it out and finding the open man. He may be only 6 foot tall, but that hasn't stopped him from being one of the best playmakers and penetrators in this draft. Cooper will learn a lot from playing behind John Wall next year. With the 25th pick, the Clippers select Miles McBride out of West Virginia. McBride is a 6'2" point guard with a monster 6'9" wingspan. That incredible length helps him to be a great defender, and on offense he can score the ball pretty well on all 3 levels, and he can playmake. The Clippers definitely need a point guard, making McBride a nice fit. With the 26th pick, the Nuggets select Trey Mann out of Florida. With Jamal Murray out for most of next year, the Nuggets can use some more shot creators. Mann is an excellent scorer. He's got a really nice handle, and he can use it to either get all the way to the rim or create space for his mid-range pull-up. He's also an excellent three-point shooter where he hit 40% last year. Trey Mann should be a nice addition to Denver's bench. With the 27th pick, the Nets select Cameron Thomas out of LSU. The injuries to Kyrie and Harden in the playoffs exposed Brooklyn's lack of shot creators outside of their big 3. So it only makes sense that they pick Thomas, who is one of the best scorers in college basketball. He averaged 23 points per game for LSU, and he can score the ball pretty well on all 3 levels. Thomas can be a nice second unit scorer for Brooklyn next year. With the 28th pick, Philly takes Bones Highland out of VCU. Philly was a great defensive team last year, but they definitely need some more scoring. Highland is a scoring point guard that can absolutely light it up from downtown. He's excellent at creating threes for himself off the bounce, but he can also attack the basket and finish at the rim. Highland will give Philly some much needed bench scoring. With the 29th pick, the Suns select JT Thor out of Auburn. Thor brings good size for a big man at 6'10" with a 7'1" wingspan. Thanks to his size and athleticism, he's a good rebounder and shot blocker, and on offense, he's mostly an inside scorer, but he has shown the ability to knock it down from deep. The Suns need more size, especially with Dario Saric likely out all of next year with a torn ACL, making Thor a nice fit. And finally, with the 30th pick, the Jazz select Quentin Grimes out of Houston. At 6'5" with a 6'8" wingspan, he's a good defender that's really good defending both on and off the ball. And on offense, he's a knockdown shooter who can also put the ball on the floor and get all the way to the rim. The playoffs exposed Utah's lack of perimeter defense, so Grimes should fit right in as a 3-and-D player. But anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Do you like my picks? Who do you want your team to select in the NBA draft? Tell me in the comments. I'm going to get one more full first round mock draft done before the draft happens, so make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see more. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.